Alrighty, hi everybody. This is Wendy Lovejoy of the YellowLetterMentoring.com, and today we are going over real estate training. This is about real estate today. So if you follow me on the ministry, you're going to hear some of the questions that we went over yesterday. But again, our focus today is all about real estate. Hi, Michael. And as you continue to join in, I may not have the opportunity to welcome you to the call, but I really appreciate the fact that you do make it to the call. Again, this is about real estate. And if you were with us yesterday, can you open it, please? If you were with us yesterday, then some of these questions, may seem a little familiar. I always try to start with your mindset. And once we get your mindset a certain place, especially for your real estate, people don't understand that in real estate, you have to have a very strong why and keep going. Hey, Relinda, how are you? And, you have to have a strong why so you can keep going. I am really thankful that I meet people that say that these live trainings are helping them. So I hope you are one of the people that feel like these live trainings are helping you. And we are talking this whole year, the focus for the year is how to have an epic 2019. And we want an epic 2019 in our business. Very, very important. We want an epic 2019 in our business. So for those that are watching, I hope that you take notes, and I hope that you really want to do a lot with your year. And so again, I'm going to ask you some questions, and then we're going to get into the 4 personality types, and we'll touch on maybe 3 to 5 of the things that belong on your schedule. Okay, again, my name is Wendy Lovejoy of the YellowLetterMentoring.com. And we're talking about your success, your 2019 success. So in asking you that, let me ask you, what does success mean to you? And when you have a why, who is your why for? Who is in your why? Like, what is your why all about? If your why is all about self, it's not going to really pull you to a higher future. And then you want to think about, as you are in real estate, where did you come from to get into real estate? Like, what are the skill sets and everything that you used in your other life? If you've graduated school, like it's some students that, just left college, or maybe you're a techie, or you could be, you left MLM, whatever you're coming from, what were you in, what level did you get to in the other place that you're leaving? I know for me, I left real estate, went into MLM, and then went back to real estate, because that's where I made most of my money, and real estate is what changed my life and a lot of people around me. When I was in MLM, I was able to help a few people transform their lives, and I had a much bigger team, but it varies for different people. So you want to ask yourself, what are the skill sets? Because one thing I can say with MLM, multi-level marketing, is that there is always a good self-improvement plan, whatever company you are connected to. And self-improvement is the main thing to focus on in growing your business. So the first thing you want to look at is, who are you doing this for? And then you also want to look at, where did you come from in the other industry that you were in? And then you want to ask yourself, why are you in real estate? Why are you choosing to be in real estate? Why are you choosing to even watch the trainings that I do? What are you trying to get out of all of this stuff? Because again, you want to get in the habit of being intentional with your life. You don't want to create a life by default and it just happens to you. And then you don't feel good about some of the things you're going through. But when you plan your life, you're moving and you're creating your destiny. You're really building a life that you can be happy with. The other thing you want to look at is in real estate, what do you want to accomplish in real estate? What do you really want to get done in your real estate? And how is that going to help your why? So are you looking to be a wholesaler? Are you looking to be a person that fixes and flips? I met a gentleman today that just wants to learn more about the mortgage side of real estate, and he wants, to learn how to attract motivated sellers so he can, focus on helping them on the mortgage side of things. So what are you in real estate for? And then what is real estate going to do for your life? Those are the things you want to question yourself. And so take time to give yourself those answers. Now, I want to talk to you about the personality types. And you want to first look at which personality type are you. You have to study who you are, and then by understanding your personality type, it'll be easier to understand the personality types of the people that you're going to end up dealing and interacting with. And so one of the reasons you want to know your personality type in real estate is because, I talk to people who don't understand that when they're in sales, which is what real estate is, it's sales, but you're in the people business, you're in the marketing business. And once you're in sales, high side, but once you're in sales, some people talk to everybody like they speak their language. So this is one of the reasons I'm doing this training today, because a few of the people that I'm training and a few of the people that scheduled a game plan with me, they are talking to people like they are talking to themselves. And so what I mean by that, you're going to see in a minute. Most people make a decision from two places. Most people make a decision from two places. And so again, I always encourage you, if you want to get a lot of value from our trainings, you want to have a notepad and a paper. If you got involved in our scripts and dialogues trainings, I do more of this stuff. I'm such a strong believer in understanding personality types, and that's what helped me to grow a huge organization when I was in 5 Links in the Atlanta area. When I started my real estate office in the New York area, and I ended up with 3 before I, sold them. But I use these to help. And now as an investor, I use these trainings to help me a lot, even with the motivated sellers I speak to, other investors I speak to. But you have to understand that people have an energy when it comes to how they make decisions. Even if you do hair and you're talking to the people whose hair you're doing, you can learn a lot by just learning personality types. It's so important. And so people have a certain personality, and that determines how they make their decisions. I'm going to get into 3 basic topics of personality training so you can understand how to deal with your motivated sellers. So one of the top energy ways people make decisions is some people are very introverted. Like I have a brother, he's an introvert. And normally when everybody gets together, he'll be the one that sits the quietest, and he usually picks a corner seat. He's an introvert, and introverts do better. They get their energy from within. They're more loners. And it doesn't mean like something's wrong with them, but this is how they prefer. They feel more comfortable being loners. And then there's extroverts. Extroverts make their decisions from everything outside of themselves. They don't make their decisions from within. They make their decisions from outside of themselves. So extroverts. And then, as you're dealing with people, try to get to the point where you can analyze how they make decisions, because once you can help a person navigate and collect information and be able to make decisions faster, you'll get a lot more deals. But not only will you get a lot more deals, but you'll get deals with sellers that feel a very strong connection with you. And the other thing you wanna understand with people is once you look at their leadership and styles, and you look at how they make decisions, you want to see that with yourself. Are you an introvert? And then you might be talking to somebody who's an extrovert. You're trying to get the deal from them, but you're talking to them like they're an introvert. So it's not really blending. It's the same in anything that you do, even in ministry, anything that you do. It's good to understand the people that you are dealing with. The other thing you want to look at is there's two ways they choose their energy, and then there is something called the three types of people. When you're talking to people, you're gonna pick up who they are. So I'm going to give you first the two energies that they have, the three types of people you're going to deal with. One is a kinesthetic person, another is an auditory person, and another is a visual. Because people are groups and then groups of groups. Even though they might be an introvert, they might be also a kinesthetic person. Like Michael Jackson was an introvert, even though he would spend a lot of time on the stage, and he would, really do a great job on the stage. He spent a lot of time on his own. A lot of your great superstars, they are known publicly. Hey, Anthony. They are known publicly, but then they are like to spend a lot of time on their own. So a visual person is a person, this is most of your successful people are usually visual people. And visual person is a person that talks really fast. They got a lot of things going on, and they're working on more than one thing at a time. And they don't make their decisions from within themselves. They make their decisions from outside of themselves. Hey, cuz. They make decisions based on what they see. So they're very visual. And if you're talking to a visual person, they talk with their hands, they talk very fast, and they say words like, do you see me? Do you see what I'm saying? Is that clear to you? They use very visual words. And I'm going to give you a little bit more about them in a little bit. And these are people that they don't make their decisions on just logic. They don't want to hear a lot of details. And so if you're a person that likes logic and you talk to everybody logically, you're going to lose people. One of the agents that I'm training, I shared with her that you have to really practice. It's called mirror matching people. And you have to practice not speaking to everybody in your language, because you're very detailed. So you're not, if you're very detailed and you're trying to close somebody, you could have all the right information, you could have the right price, you could be willing to offer them exactly what they want for their property, you could have done the right marketing to get them to call you, but now you're speaking to them in the wrong language and you're going to lose them. So you really want to learn your personality type and then be open and practicing. And the way I learned this is when I started, again, my kids were in Pampers, so I've perfected this over the years. But when it was taught to me, what I did is, For a whole week, I would look at everybody that I was talking to and say, is this person a visual? So then the next week, everybody I talked to, I'd say, the next personality you want to look at is a kinesthetic person. That's an emotional person. Like I was telling you, one of my brothers is an introvert. He likes to be pretty much by himself. It took me a lot of conversations with him, giving him a lot of, emotional reasons why he needed to start juicing for his health. And now 3 weeks later, he called me yesterday to say, I'm so glad I listened to you. I see changes in my health. But I had to speak to him in his language, even though what I was trying to do was to help him. But if I had talked to him in my language, because I'm a visual, he would have never seen the benefit. So kinesthetic people are very emotional. You have to use words with them like, are you feeling this? How do you feel about this? How have you felt in a situation like this? So you have to use emotional words with them. And then you have auditory people. Auditory people like details, and you can't miss them. If you're sitting in a room with a lot of people, they're usually sitting like this, like their ear is like a visual wants to do everything from their eyes, but an auditory person, their ear leads them, so they're listening for the details. They're listening, and so you have to say, are you hearing me? How does that sound? So you have to learn to use the right words with the people, because again, now an auditory person is logical. They like a lot of detail information. So if you try to speak to them emotionally, you're going to lose them. But some people are dominant in one, and then they have a weaker version of another. Like I'm a visual, but I'm also kinesthetic. Because I'm a visual, I need to know and get it happening. But I care about people, and I'm emotional about people. I'm not very detail oriented. So now for me, I have to add people that are more detail oriented. So once you know your personality type, then it helps you to figure out who you put on your team. And then it also helps you to figure out, because I guarantee you, this is why I tell people you're going to end up closing more people like yourself. Because if you're a natural visual person, it's going to be easy for you to talk to people and say, do you see what I'm saying? I know it's so bright in here, and so you're speaking their language automatically, so you can close them quicker. But once you master the art of understanding people's personalities, and you're not manipulating them, but because you have to learn to educate them. And if you're not speaking to them in their language, there's a saying, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And so if I'm speaking to you, if I walked up to you and I just, you only speak English. About a couple of weeks ago, my mom and I were at my daughter's, my granddaughter's birthday party, and we were speaking Zulu pretty much all the time we were there, because when we were talking to each other. But when we spoke to other people, we spoke in English, and people were like, oh my God, you guys speak another language. They didn't understand it. They didn't understand what we were saying. And so that's how it is when you're a visual person talking to an auditory person. You may be giving them everything they need, but you're giving it to them in the way you like to receive it. And so it's gonna kind of mess up your way of getting them to close quicker. You have to give people the information of what is it about the house that makes you want to buy it, the condition of the house, their situation. What if you have somebody that's in foreclosure? They're already stressed out most of the time. Most of the time, people that are in foreclosure put it off, and by the time they talk to a person that's in real estate, an investor or an agent, they've pretty much been forced to do it. So now here you come and you're speaking to them in a language that they're not even getting. So it's very, very important to master this. Then you want to look at the 4 personality types, and they come in these 4 brands. One is a dolphin, the other is a whale, another is a shark, and another is an urchin. So again, the visual person, if you are dealing with people that are very accomplished in their work, they're top producers, people will call them the Reds. These are people that have accomplished a lot. A lot of your millennials nowadays are accomplishing a lot. Some millennials are not accomplishing a lot, but the ones that are, they might live in Atlanta, but they go work everywhere in the world. They probably, they usually make more than average, and they dress a certain way. A shark is called a red, and you usually can tell a shark because they dress so that they got money. They wear everything to show you, look, I'm making money. And and they'll even let you know that they're making money. Sharks are very competitive people. They're usually doing a lot of things at one time because they're very competitive, and they want everything fast. They don't have time for a lot of details. They usually will finish your sentence. Like when I'm talking to one of my brothers, he is the one that I said is kinesthetic. Sometimes I just finish a sentence because he takes time to talk. He thinks about it before he completely speaks it. And sometimes when I'm dealing with motivated sellers that are in a situation and they're trying to, they usually talk like this, and they're going to say to me, so I finish their sentence, and most of the personalities that I deal with don't get offended by that because I've built rapport. So again, a shark is usually known as a red. They're usually a top producer. They usually want to, get things done quickly. They dress a certain way. They're usually workaholics. They work more than they relax. They're very motivated by winning, by accomplishing something, by getting it done. And they want other people around them to know that they're successful, and they're going to show you that. They will talk about, I just took a boat ride over the weekend. I just bought a yacht, or, I live in a mansion, and I've got, this very expensive car. I own a Lamborghini, and that's the way they'll speak because they want to make sure they're successful. Now, the next type of personality is known as a whale. Some people may call this the yellow of the group. These are people that really like to help other people, and they are fun-loving people, but they care about other one. They like to, if you walked into a room, they're the ones that give everybody a hug, and they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. They want, hi young lady, thank you for joining us today. So anyway, today it's about real estate. It's not about ministry, Rodrigo. So today's about, I don't know if you're in real estate, but maybe this will help you in whatever area of business you're in. But thank you for joining us. So again, the second personality type you want to understand is the whale. And the whale is the person, they're yellow, they're bright. Most people like this personality. They like to have fun. They don't like to hurt other people's feelings. If you like, when I used to have my meetings on a monthly basis, these are the people that would show up and they would say, oh, do you need help putting the chairs out? Do you need help, signing up people? Do you need help getting the water? They didn't want to have all the spotlight on them, but they wanted to make sure they helped each other. There's a friend of mine who always says stuff on my posts. He is in the military, and when I was opening up the meeting in Columbus, Georgia, his name is P.J. Thomas Jr. He helped, and he is definitely a whale. He was not, and he's high-level military, but he would show up every Thursday. He'd be there early. He'd ask me what kind of help I needed. He appreciated all the training I gave him. He wasn't even on my team. He was on another team, but I let 5 Links know that I'm willing to train anybody and everybody that showed up to the meeting because I wanted to grow the organization in Columbus, Georgia. So on your team, you need people like this, and you need to see if you're like this, because when you're talking to your sellers, you got to know, are you talking to a shark? Are you talking to a red, a person that needs to move? They got to go. They're being relocated right now. They don't have a lot of time for you to be researching and, and talking to them like you're trying to figure it out. They want to know, did you get... They want to know, did you get what they're telling you? Are you like, ready to give them all the information? They want to sign on the dotted line. They just they don't have time to waste, because again, they usually have a lot going on. And then a whale wants to help. They want to serve. And they usually attract a lot of people because they care about people. And then you have an urchin. An urchin is a green in personality. These people are the detail-oriented people. And like I said, if you were sitting at a meeting, you could be wherever you're sitting, they're going to be sitting like this because they want to hear everything that you're saying. And they usually want you to use words like, here are the detail, here's all the data. They want to hear all the words that are going to help them to kind of evaluate. You have to use words like research because they like to research and they take a long time to decide, whereas a shark makes a decision like that. But an urchin may say to you, well, can you get back to me in a week? And even as a business coach, when I'm dealing with people, like I talked to a young lady about 2 weeks ago, and because I realized she's an urchin with a whale, people can be mixed with two personalities. I said to her, I'm not going to keep calling you back. When you're ready, you can give me a call, because they want to know that they're ready to make the next move. And so your sellers are the same way. Don't be upset if your seller says, let me think about this. Let me sleep over this. If you've given them all the information that they need, they'll usually pick you if you speak to them in their language. And then you can say, I appreciate this, like I'm glad that you hear, that I've addressed everything that you asked me. So again, you're hitting the points on the fact that they like research, and they don't move fast, so you can't rush them. You will lose them if you rush them and you push them to move faster and quicker. And again, these are the people that like to sit around in the corner and watch others. They don't want to be the center of attention, whereas the shark wants, it's all about them. And they're usually very narcissistic. And I can name some people that are like that, but some of you may not even know them. And then there's a dolphin. These are the blues. These are the people that they're usually very messy. They usually show up late for the meetings. They're not organized, and but when you speak to them, you can't give them details. You can't rush them. You have to speak to them about how much fun and oh my God, I'm so happy that you chose me, to be the investor that gets your house, because I just really am like, this is going to be a blast for us. We're going to get this done, and things like that. These people usually make the most noise in the room, and they want to be paid attention to, and but they're kind of more laid back than most people.
this. Oh na na na, and I tell